number one sign that you are the hardest working podcaster in the entire world. I'm talking about across millions and millions of podcasters. This is how you know nobody outworks you. It's not about the amount of money that you make. It's not about the amount of views, the amount of subscribers, the amount of comments. It's not none of that. The deals, if you want under revolt, none of that matters. This is the tale right here. Okay. This is when you're number one. Okay. Boom. Boom. The ripped headphones, B. That's the number one tell. That says it all. All right. I hope y'all know I'm bullshit. I went to put on my headphones. I was just like, just to make sure that they was connected this morning. I was just like, whoa, what's this about? All right. Gave myself a little pat on the back for picking up some headphones that finally went on me. But what do we use these for? About almost 2 years. It's all good. It's only going to get worse. Yeah, let's go, Beats. Let's go, Beats. I got the replacement. I'll probably hook them up maybe next week or something like that. Just connect them to the Bluetooth. But we ready. We ready to swap. Bye, Sony. I appreciate y'all. Anybody got any sponsorships, anything like that for the boy? You know what I'm saying? Anybody? Sony, can you holler at me or something? Beat somebody, give me something for free. Shit, I'm here every day. It says Sony on my screen every damn day. I don't do a million views. But shit, can I get something? Can I get a little care package, a tweet, something? Nigga said a tweet. What's up, y'all? Good morning. Welcome in. All right, what do we got today? We're gonna go over all the Dame Dash and Camron and 50 Cent updates. So 50 Cent and Camron both responded to Dame Dash's first he did the demand letter of $1 million towards Cam. We saw that, we broke that down. Then going into his apology, which I thought was pretty much bullshit. You know, I tried to still be positive with it, but I wasn't going to let the shit slide that we obviously saw through. We broke that down. And of course, 50 Cent was going to reply to that. If you haven't seen it, you can pretty much guess what it is. He trolls the shit out of Dame. But Cam responded. Cam responded on his Talk of Flea. And once that's where Cam is going to go. He's gonna kill you on his platform. He's going to make the money off of it. He's going to air you out. He's going to be sarcastic. He's going to be petty. He's going to keep it real. But there's a couple other pieces in there I want to look at as well. His response to being the fall or the last straw to Rockefeller, kicking all that off. He responds to that. There's another piece that he speaks on. But when they ask him about, when Sin City asked him, could you and Dame ever settle this? You know, I want to pull that up, and I have a small topic on that about Cam's response to that and how people normally react to situations like this. And you got to be careful if you want to maintain a friendship. You know, something that Dame did specifically. We're going to talk about it. After that, where are we going? We got David. All right. I want to pull up some Law and Crime video about David. So it's going to talk about some of his lyrics, some of the updates around his investigation. I see people saying a lot. Why isn't he under arrest yet? These type of things take time. If he is their guy. Now, remember, even if he's not your guy, it doesn't mean that you're still not going to be arrested, right? You could be arrested. You could be charged. You can go through the process and your lawyers and, you know, evidence gets shaky. Even OJ played with the glove, right? And he beat it. So just because you get charged doesn't mean that you will get found guilty. But him being charged, you know, it takes time. You're not going anywhere. You're sitting right there. They have tabs on you. They know where you're at. They're watching you. And when they're ready, they're ready. How long did it take for them to come and grab Roger Jackson? It's not even like the David thing. The David thing is bad because the internet keeps rehashing all these ties and connecting all these dots and all this evidence, right? But they had the video. His whole live stream showed everything. The people involved, the behind the scenes, the fight, the premeditation. Yet still, they took like a good month, right, to go grab Roger Jackson. They do the investigation, they cross their T's, they dot their I's, because when they do come get you, they want it to stick, right? So, you know, don't be surprised if it takes a second for them to at least charge David as a suspect, even though the whole world is just like at this point, right? But we'll do some David coverage. Jimmy Kimmel being back. We're gonna check out some of the highlights of that, things that he said. He read a letter while he got up there to Disney and ABC. What else do we got? We got some NBA Youngboy updates about his concert. There's another controversial thing, extremely controversial thing that happened at a recent NBA Youngboy show. We're gonna pull it up here. Hope I don't get in trouble for it. We got some Jim Jones. We got some Adin Ross and Young Thug. We got some 6ix9ine. We got some YFN Lucci. We got some Cardi B. So obviously we got a bunch of stuff. Let's start working. Let's start getting to it. All right. First and foremost, let's go to Dame Dash. Now, the shunning down of his apology, his bullshit apology, his apology that was filled with also, hey guys, let's get together, let's do a show, me, you, Cam, and 50. They was what? This is 50's response to the shit. So 50 post up, I agree with Dame 100%. It's better to work together. We should sit down and figure out how we can move forward. I believe we can create a path to more success. Oh wait, Cam said fuck Dame, and it's his fake Chat GPT lawsuit. So fuck you, Dame. When I first started reading it, when I first time I saw it, I was just like, nah, that ain't, because not only from a business standpoint, nobody even needs Dame Dash right now, and that's respectfully. Not only do people not need him right now, but he's kind of toxic. Like, I don't think he's even a good look. That's when I heard initially I'm about to be the chairman of Revolt when he was up on the Breakfast Club. I was just like, Revolt would do that right now? Like, you can be an asset still. You could still be a help. You could still do good content and bring a couple things to the table, but you're not even a good look right now. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't believe it. And we see how that all turned out. But that's a clear setup, clear troll. Fuck you. We good. And even the divide and conquer. And I'm not saying that 50 did it. He does play that string a lot over the course of his whole career. But I think even Cam continued to gravitate towards 50 because it's like, listen, man, we had what we had in the past. We're still doing our thing out here. Let's start to work together. Right. So you are pushed out of that. Like, Dame looks at Cam like, yo, this used to be your op, my op. Like, what the fuck? And he's like, man, yeah, that was 20 years ago. We cool now. We look at you like, shit, now that we think about it, you added fuel to the fire. Right? People tolerated Dame. It's very, very apparent. And I'm going to expand on that point a little bit more in a second. All right, let's go to Dame Dash's response now to 50. He changed his mind pretty quick, huh? About us, hey, we all the world, let's all stick together. I guess he's not really on that too fast. Or he's a little bit embarrassed about what 50 said there. So Dame says, and this is on his verified Instagram, right? I got to be careful. I know he might be out here suing people and sending demand letters and shit. At 50 Cent, peace is always better for our culture, but we always want to tear our culture down. So we obviously know who you work for. You don't want to lead by example and show the culture that we could lead together because they're paying you. I'm not playing those games. I'm not a pawn in another coach's game. I lost a lot of respect for you, bro. We could lead by example, but you'd rather continue with the stupid algorithm. You want them to laugh at us. You're helping them take us down. I'm not going to be part of it. Keep playing if you want, but I'm not going to engage in being a puppet to anyone and anyone to me. I'm not fucking with it. They always sent us to tear us down, and we now know that it's you. Peace, my brother. I'm still not going to fight you, but my defense game is really good. If you want to talk, call Daniel. He doesn't want to talk to you. Neither one of them, obviously. That's why a lot of this continues to get legs as well. Nobody wants to talk to you. They don't want to talk to you. Stop trying to talk to people. When will you stop? Let's get on the phone. Let's sit down face to face. No! Fucking catch the fucking drift finally. I don't want to see you and talk to you, nigga. How many times do I gotta burn your olive branch? No! No means no, motherfucker. All right. And so he's taking the righteous angle here on 50 Cent. Now, has 50 Cent been a destructive? There's been times where people have blamed 50 Cent over the years for destroying even New York unity, right? I never really did that. I just thought it was a guy that came in. He had his ways about him. He wasn't scared to go left. He did what obviously caught a lot of eyes in How to Rob, and it was what it was. But the music was there. You know, he did a lot of great things in the industry. And you're gonna have your Neos in these matrices, and 50 was one of them. All right. So you're taking the high road kind of approach here. They'll tear us down. They're this, they're that. Dame's history includes that of going at a lot of black entrepreneurs and businessmen. So all this, the man, they're tearing us down, they're setting us up against each other. We know that our own violent natures towards each other, aggression towards each other is always going to be clicks. Hell, we could look at UMG and say you own both Drake or have the rights to Drake and Kendrick, right? Y'all want to battle, go battle. We all know that, right? But it's not the bigger picture here that you're trying to use to shadow this. It's really the smaller picture of people not wanting to fuck with you. Don't try to use, the history of us not working together to get to the promised land as your shadow to why people don't want to work with you. His reputation, his credibility, his abrasiveness is at an all-time visibility. And once again, the guy just doesn't own a mirror. So blame game. Let's blame the system for corrupting us and keeping us against each other all these years. All right, Dane. Dane probably has a million enemies out there. And when I say enemies, I don't mean people that want to hurt him, but people that just was like, nah, fuck, I'm cool. They just popped up out of nowhere. I'm not talking about haters. I'm talking about real people that want to see his demise. That's from nothing. All right. Let's move along. Let's move along. We're gonna go to some of these Camron clips now. Let's see some of his responses to some of this stuff. Let's get into some of his new talk with Flea with Sin City, right? So what was this one? This one, I believe, is him responding to Dame saying that he was going to be the chairman of Revolt. Let's start here first. Ooh.
Would it be so bad if he was the chairman at Revolt? Because let me tell you something about people.
Probably.
I would say about 70-30 people believe that he's not, and there's 30% that believe that he is, because they like, yo, he got the proof. He got the Texas. He got the break it down. And well, first answer would be so bad those. If he was the chair, if he was made the chairman at Revolt, and then second, break down the story, because a lot of people don't know what to think.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, Dame is always gonna sound smart to a stupid nigga. That's
right.
That's just the way he's very highly educated, has a great vocabulary, knows how to talk shit, talks very well, over talks people. So to a nigga who ain't paying attention, he always gonna sound smart, and not a dumb nigga neither. Dame's smart in general, very smart guy. So let's do the first thing. Would it be bad if he's the chairman of Revolt? I don't give a fuck. No disrespect to Revolt. I don't work for Revolt. I license my show back here, Talk with Flea, to them down there, Revolt. I don't work for Revolt. So if he's the chairman of Revolt, or if he thinks he's the chairman of Revolt, I just think he's a man sitting in the chair. You see, at the end of the day, if you that's like, to me, I don't care. It's not going to change my check. It's not going to change my deal. I don't work for Revolt, so you can never be my boss. That's first and foremost. Secondly, I never seen a nigga fighting to be somewhere where nobody wants him. Why are you fighting to get in the party when nobody in the party wants you there? So let's say you do become, and I'm not saying he is, let's say you do become the chairman of Revolt off of text messages. Secondly, so I'm just letting you know, text messages aren't contracts or confirmation. I'm just putting that out there. So you know,
off of text
it does hold up in court, just so you know, but it's not confirmation of anything. But let's just say you are, now you're going.
Hey, you watching my shit, Cam? Don't be trying to steal my shit. That's a dope jacket, by the way. I like that Javinci shit.
You're in a building and nobody wants you there. So now what? You're the chairman. Nobody's going to do what you ask them to do. Nobody's going to follow protocol of whatever the chairman's supposed to do. You're going to try and come in there and bring content and whatever. I don't fucking know. I have no idea. It has nothing to do with me. But my thing is this, and Dame's problem for the last 15 years is that him, and I get where he's coming from. He wants to be the talent because he feels the talent that he got over the years doesn't look out for him. So now he's like, I'm the talent. I'm Billy Pablo. I'm the rock and roll star. Now I got my own show, this, that, and the third, this, that, and the third. And to be honest with you, Dame's talent is finding talent, not being the talent. That's his talent. Not being the talent, finding the talent. So that's why I be looking at it and they be like, yo, but people got to realize this. When like, yo, shit is viral. Viral is not always a good thing. This nigga being viral for being a goofy, niggas be laughing at you, nigga. A-Town, no disrespect to A-Town. That's I like this kind. He was viral all the time. A bunch of other niggas, Hammerhead, Sharkhead, them niggas, that ever back then, they viral. Don't compare the word viral with cool. That's two totally different things. So as far as him being the chairman, I don't give a fuck. Like I said, you heard what the revolt people said. So I'm not even arguing about that. That's first and foremost. So it doesn't matter to me if he isn't. I don't work for Revolt. But the one thing I would say is how you the chairman, and everybody in the building got more money than you. So you just want the title boss. The janitor, the secretaries, everybody in the cubicles, programming, marketing. What you want? You want to ask them for lunch money? You are the brokest boss ever.
Yo, leave Cam alone, B. One thing to add about that whole chairman thing, just to close that out, finally. We already saw the CEO of Revolt put out a note and address that shit. We also saw what Dame's response was, right? When he's sitting there in his rocking chair, whatever, and he said, to me, the chairman is because I'm coming with my own staff and my own content, that makes me a chairman because the people that I'm coming with report to me. So it's like you're just changing the definition. Like if you look at an org chart, y'all put me on, let me know in the chat, let me know in the comments below. I've never seen an org chart that had multiple, like let's say, well, should I say multiple chairmen? Well, but am I confusing a council or board members with chairman? I think I am. I think I'm confusing board members. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen an org chart with multiple chairmen. Multiple board members, as if like people that have their percentages of ownership, like partners around the table. Yeah, but anyway, Dame's definition of how, like, oh, but I'm a chairman because you have your own content, you have your own staff, meaning like maybe you have your own cameraman or your own actors that you want, and you're bringing content to Revolt. The same way Cam is explaining, like, I don't work for them, like they license my content, and we see Revolt promoting all of this shit for Cameron right now. They're posting it on their Instagram, they're posting on their YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, this right here is on Revolt's YouTube channel. What does that say right there? 3.25 million subscribers, Revolt. Okay, so Cam and Mace come out with it is what it is on their own time, put up their own money, get it to a point where people are interested in it, and that's how it happens. People come to you and they want to license it if you work out that type of deal. And he got the same thing with his second show, Talk with Flea, where he's bringing Sin City on, putting him on. So does that mean that Cameron runs around and goes up to the Breakfast Club and says, I'm a chairman at Revolt? It looks like that's, from what everybody's saying, it's the same thing that Dame was going to get that Cam has right now, because Cam broke down the story of, I have extra slots. They're not booking anything else for the rest of 2025. I offered one of my slots to Dame. Dame went and thought about it, came back and said, no, I got to be the top guy, whatever. I'm the godfather. So then Cam might as well just run around calling himself a fucking chairman too. Okay. And this is Dame's words. He said that. What was his explanation? All right, let's go to Cam responding to him being the center of the Rockefeller breakup when Dame brought that out recently.
Felt a little bit more, sorry for the way he's coming out now. He's really expressing the fact that you broke the group up. And like I said, I know we talked about it before, but do you feel a little bit more sorry for what you did?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because the thing about it is this, it's like this. All right, so let's get to that, right? Bro, you have 100 different reasons why Rockefeller broke up. You told me Jay didn't want to pay Biggs no more. You go downstairs and you scream and yell at Kevin Lowndes and Julie Greenwald and Leo Cohen. You make the movie Death of a Dynasty while the dynasty is still going on. Did I play a part in it? And not saying on purpose, because he's like,
he said you made a movie, Death of a Dynasty, while the dynasty was still going on, G. Be clear, people. We do that a lot. We hear somebody come out, say something 3, 4, 5, 10 years later, and we hold on to that. Dave comes out and says, and I'm a victim of it sometimes too. I got to catch myself. Cam, you's the reason why you got 50 up there, and y'all clowning, y'all doing all of this, and you talk about this, you talk about that, and you're the reason why Rockefeller began to break up. You coming out and saying that you was about to be the president, all that started everything. It sounds good when we listen to it. Like, ooh, but was we all there? Right? We saw it from every angle, though. every fucking angle. I remember seeing shit going on with Cam and True Life, Jay and True Life, Jay and Beanie Siegel, Jay and Dame. You heard things about Biggs. You heard things about Rockefeller. Is a mill okay? Is Jay-Z's next album going to have anybody? It was just so business deals, record deals, state property as a clothing brand, state property as a group. There was just so much going on. No Limit could only move like that, but for so long. It's dope while it happens. G Unit could only do that, but for so long. Rough Riders could only do that, but for so long. Rock La Familia could only do that, but for so long. Did people really expect niggas to be throwing up the fucking rock 15, 20 years from now together? I'm talking about Chris, Neve, Petey Crack, Beanie Siegel, Memphis Bleak, Jay-Z, Cameron, Jim Jones, Joel Santana, or like all the side. Like, really? Hell, they had one of the biggest runs of all time. But I could even look at G Unit and be like, yo, did y'all forget that they had MOP with them and Mobb Deep with them signed to G Unit? How long did all this? It happens, B. It fucking happens. And this is only the shit that we see, let alone the million of other things behind the scenes. So could we really logically believe that Cam is the sole reason for breaking up Rockefeller? That's making all this money at the time because he went on a radio station and announced too early that he was about to be the president. That's the main reason why this big company breaks up. What sense does that make? It's not even logical. Gonna be a piece in the whole deck of cards? Maybe.
I think you did on purpose. Why the fuck would I do it on purpose? I just had a platinum album. I just had a great artist, Jewels, get signed. You just signed my label. Why would I want to break it up? This shit sounds stupid. Now, maybe I did jump the gun and say I was going to be the president, but me and Bleak, we giggled and joked about it because maybe we're doing other things with our life and we're still not thinking about that. And we moved on. And I thought they moved on too. See, that's what I realized too doing this, up here doing the podcast and talking, is that some people are over some things and some people will never get over other things. And sometimes when I have these conversations with people, I'll ask a question or I'll make a statement saying, oh, that nigga ain't worried about it. That was 20 years ago. Now they still worried about it. So I'll pick and choose what I say on these podcasts more carefully. Doubt it. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So no, I don't feel bad because I moved on and did other things. If you ask Dame, he's doing a million other things. Dame's attitude is, and I always believe in Dame. See, that's the one thing too, Cent, is that even when my son asked me about like, yo, what's going on with your name? And he's like, he feel I don't look out for him. He feel I don't do this. And my son was like, all you do is give him credit. It's documented. If you, for the last 20 years, any interview I've done talking about Dame, I've never dissed Dame. I always praise Dame. I always say thank you. I always tell people how much he helped me get out of a bad situation into a great situation, able to feed myself. And for me saying Honor Up was whack, this all snowballed into this. Is it times in between our relationship talking about Dame when I don't speak to him for a year or two? Yeah, because Cent, you grew up with Dame. You know, sometimes it can be overwhelming. That don't mean I ain't love him. That don't mean I ain't his friend. That don't mean I ain't fuck with him. None of this. Every interview for the last 20 years, all I've done is giving this man props on how he's helped me. But when you keep pushing my buttons on the internet and I did nothing to you, and then not only don't come back on you on the internet, all I do is just don't pick the phone up. I'll be like, I'm just not picking the phone up. That's just that. And then you keep poking me, pause. And my side, I'm like, all right, what you want me to do? All right, be Cam. Now I got to be Cam. And that's how we got here. So no, I don't feel bad. Because according to Dame, all he do is make $100 million companies. He'll tell you, I sold Rockefeller for $100 million, Rockaway $100 million, I'll make another $100 million company. Why are we dwelling on this if that's all you do?
Where the money at? Where the money at, my nigga? Where?
Stop it right there. Well, one thing that we've seen over about the last month, and I'll still say allegedly, we've seen that Dame is a lot of cap. A lot of cap. Allegedly. All right. So we're not even going to dwell on the whole thing about like, oh, well, show me all this money that you're talking about. Dame is literally going on campaigns to prove that he does have money. Hey, look, Envy, post your view. Let me look at mine. And you got Claudia Jordan coming out here talking about, nigga, all you do is rent these cribs to act like you're still balling out that life. You default on the rent and then you move on, allegedly. Like he's being exposed all over the place, right? And he's the center of it. No mirrors. But now let's get to the finale. Let's get to the overall piece when we see the title. 50 Cent and Camron shut down Dame Dash's apology. It's over. And they asked Cam, Sin City asked Cam, Is there any room to reconcile? Can y'all ever be friends again? Is it over forever?
I don't think forgiving, it's really not that serious to me, but maybe he may take it another way. But is it like like a what's up, nigga, down the line, do you think? Or is there a point of no return? Because I heard Memphis Bleak said, like, I guess what he said about Jay, there's never no going back on that one. And, what he said about him was kind of crazy. But anyway, true or false, I'm asking you. And I'm not asking for right now. I'm asking for what you think about later. Because that is your boy since you was little. So what you think about that?
No, I'm at the point of no return. I'm at that point because this was totally unnecessary. For me, it was totally unnecessary. And the way it went about, for me, it didn't have to be public. It didn't have to be all this. All I said, I hate repeating how this started. I didn't pick the phone up. All I did was not pick the phone up, and you keep going on the internet looking for internet sympathy, like he's doing now. He's carrying on. Dame, I'm the one who set up Dame Instagram. I'm really sorry I set up the Instagram. There's two things I'm sorry I did for Dame.
I'm sorry I set up his Instagram.
Set up his Instagram, which he probably would have caught on later in life, and have him start smoking weed. Since he started smoking weed, he's not the same person. He's a bugger.
You did that?
Yeah, I did that. Me and Blood.
You did that?
Shit. Come on, Larry. Let's be mad together.
Yeah,
I thought Biggie did that.
Yeah.
I thought he was smoking with Biggie.
Nah,
you know what's messed up too? When Cam says something like that, says like he's a bug out. I wish I never got him smoking weed. It hits because Dame's got all these interviews where he's always trying to stop and go smoke. The one where he's got the bandana on his face where he's on a ranch. Did you listen to that? No, you didn't listen. All right, so we're gonna take a break. We're gonna smoke a joint, and then we'll be back. Or the same thing on Breakfast Club. He's always talking about I need to step away. I need to step away. Some people just can't function, can't interview, can't go without their weed. And Cam put him on blast almost makes it sound like weed is his crack. Like damn, like is it that crazy? That much of an impact? Most people I know that smoke weed, it don't fuck them up that bad, but some people it do.
To be honest,
allegedly,
when I was doing my deal with entertainment or about to do the deal, we would talk from time to time, and he'd be like, "Yo, be careful with them niggas. They smoke too much." He said they good businessmen, but them niggas smoke a lot. Talking about Biggie and Un and all that. And he would smoke with me and Bloodshed from time to time, but then he just started becoming a full-time smoker, and it was like, whatever. I smoke a lot, so it wasn't no big deal to me. But I'm a functional. I've been smoking since I was 16, longer than that, 15, 16, playing basketball, doing everything else. It don't affect me the same way I see it affects him, to where he needs it, like fiending. I seen him one night, and I'm like, when we was staying in Malibu, and that nigga was just smoking away. I'm like, I don't know if he's stressed or whatever, but he really needs the weed. But
so you felt in this whole,
know what I'm saying, but you gotta take the blame for that.
It's bugged out that it happens, and so it's based on the person. Everybody's different. Just like the movie Half Baked, where you got all these different types of smokers. Ones that get erratic, ones that get calm, ones that get tired, ones that get analytical, ones that get smart, ones that get creative. The same thing happens with other drugs too. Everybody's body reacts different to shit. You know what I'm saying? I have a family member. When I found out he was sniffing coke and he was on coke, I didn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it because he was so functional, so sharp, never saw him high, never saw him not be on his game, never saw him not killing his job every fucking day. Kind of like how I'm here, 6 a.m. every fucking morning. Say this person was the same exact way. And when I found out he did coke, I was like, no, I did see it with my own eyes and shit. Like, oh, no, he is a cokehead, but it hit me like, how? Because the cokeheads that I be seeing do not move and act and conduct and carry themselves and not that functional, but everybody's different. Real shit.
That's what I was about to say. You just said there's no point of return, so there's really no need of me asking you. You felt you did nothing wrong in this whole situation, right?
Absolutely not, because it isn't like me and Dame haven't had disputes before.
I saw a comment in here. Somebody said Cam don't take any responsibility at all. So him saying absolutely not. Cam's has stake in this, of course. Dame didn't do all this on his own, but if I had to say who's more wrong, it's Dame, right? But Cam, you're not just crystal clear in the whole shit, my nigga. I mean, come on now.
We've had disputes. It's been times in one of the interviews, you'd be like, I know Cam, he'll duck me for 3-4 years. It ain't been 3-4 years, but I'll take a few months off, maybe a year or two from Dame, and just not speak to him. But nobody ever knew that. Nobody ever knew that. When me and Dave, not saying our relationship been perfect from beginning to end, when we got problems, you never heard no problems from me. because all I did was just not pick the phone up. I didn't run to the internet. But he kept going on and on and on. And then on top of that, all I said was, I bet you want to talk about honor up, I didn't support it. I said, all right, cool. Honor up, I don't like it. Then this whole avalanche came of trying to defame my character, trying to diss me, everything else. I would have been cool. It would have been cool for me if he would have been like, nigga, all your movies is whack. Nigga, some of the shit he said, nigga, you ain't have no hit record since you stopped fucking with me, which is not true. But anyway, I would have been cool with that. You know where this shit got personal for me? Is when he was like, Cam ain't confrontational, this, that, third. So-and-so punched him in his face. I'm like, damn, you too? That's what you want? Niggas bring up all this shit with me. Niggas talk about my victories. They talk about 3 L's I took in my life. And I don't got no problem with that. That's cool. It come with the game. I'm straight with that. Because it's a bunch of ass whippings I done gave out on several different occasions. I don't got no problem with that. But for it to come from Dame, oh, you got some deep hate pause inside that you've been wanting to spew out. And when he said that, I knew it was personal. And that's when I said, all right, let's do personal.
Let's, and there it is. Now we go into our topic a little bit. Let's talk. Let's build on that. And that was really what I wanted to get to. So, can you come back from all of this stuff? Cam and Dame as a relationship. Cam says no is dead. Point of no return. Now, sometimes people say point of no return and they still get back together. They link up, shake hands. Hey, what's up, man? It's all good. Best case scenario in situations like this, you do link back up in some form, but it'll never be the same. I agree with Cam here, okay? Let's talk about like in our regular personal lives. We all have friends and family that have done things that we don't agree with. Shit, I've done things that my friends and family don't agree with. None of us are perfect. When if I ever get in trouble again, God forbid, right? I'm gonna have so many. Y'all could make a compilation on my channel, like, hey, ARP, he ain't no angel, he ain't perfect. You know, you don't expect. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you set yourself up to act like an angel and act like everything you do is holy, and then you get in trouble for some shit. And it's like, ooh, you know, or you so tough, and then you get your ass up, and this is like, ooh, it's worse. Like, nah, be realistic. None of us are fucking perfect. So I say that to say. I have past situations where, like, let's say I have a friend that slapped his baby mother or got into a fight with his baby mother. Okay. Now, do I condone hitting on a woman? Zero. Have I ever hit on a woman? Zero. Never. And I want to take that to the grave. Would I ever hit a woman? Yeah, if I had to defend myself. Let's be clear. I'm Chris Rock with it. Nobody's above an ass whooping. You just don't do it. It's funny how that's going to tie into a piece later on in a different topic. Nobody's above an ass whooping. A woman comes at me with a weapon. A woman comes at me and I feel like she's trying to hurt me. My kids, something are involved or whatever. I don't give a fuck. If you're 3 foot tall, I'll punch your ass down the fucking block. Be clear. All right. But let's say the situation that I'm talking about is like, one of my homeboys gets into it with his woman, with the mother of this child. They arguing, whatever, and his next step, he ends up just hitting on her. Maybe punches her up a little bit, hits her in the body up. Maybe she's got slapped before, whatever. Now, if he comes to me, and he breaks this down to me, if I console him, if I'm just like, yo, man, damn, like, yo, you can't do that. It's like, you need to come over here, get out the crib. Want to stay here for a week? You know what I'm saying? How can I help? Tell me the story. Tell me what happened. We'll walk each other through it. You become a vent. You know, allow the person to vent some of his frustration, his aggression to you. Allow, you know, be a shoulder to lean on a little bit. Hell, there's worse out there. Some of y'all done picked up the phone. He's like, yo, I just killed him. Oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? I never lived through that. You know what I'm saying? But it's real. It's real. Friends and family fuck up, and so do we, or do things we don't agree with. If you console that person, if you give that person advice, if you help that person, if you become a shoulder to lean on, or even bare minimum, if you continue to be that person's friend after the fact, situations like that, you really are in the wrong to use against the person. And there's just certain things that fall in that category. Okay. Let's say, a friend of yours was a druggie, was turned out on drugs. Y'all get into an argument 5 years later. You like, that's why you was a fucking crackhead. Can't do that. There's no honor in doing that. You can't do it. This is like sensitive stuff. Another one. You were there for your homegirl when her man cheated on him and cheated on her. That was her worst time ever. And here she is. Y'all get into it. That's right, bitch. That's why you out here single and all. It's like the type of shit that emotionally stabs people because it really hurt them when they were going through it. There's no honor in doing that. All right. Another one here for Cam is clear. No man, a lot of women too, most women too. You don't like to take a loss out in the world in any form, but when it's physical, like getting your ass whooped, like you have to get to a certain level of even maturity to accept getting your ass whooped. Some people get their ass whooped and they be like, shit, it wasn't about that was X amount of time ago. Who cares about how long it was? A loss is a loss, right? Or I wasn't looking, or it's like you got to accept the fact you got your ass whooped first and foremost. Okay, it happens to the best of us. Mike Tyson got knocked out. Nobody's above an ass whooping. Everybody could take a L. Okay. Now here it is. It's already hard for a man to get their ass whooped. You there for me? We riding out. We sticking up for each other. We in the middle of back and forth beefs and whatnot. Shit, y'all shooting at them, they shooting at them. Y'all stabbing them, they stabbing them. Y'all getting jumped, they getting jumped. Guns, all this type of shit. Right? Somebody gets their ass whooped in the midst of all of that. That's part of street shit. That's part of beef. That's part of fussing and fighting out there in the street. 10, 15 years later, we arguing. And you be like, yeah, that's why you got your ass whooped that night. Wait, what? Huh? I was never cool with the fact that I got my ass whooped back then. You know what I'm saying? And it came with the territory. Like, how do you use that to disrespect me? Of all the things you could say to me to disrespect me, why do you use that? Why do you use that? Yeah, I never grew up with a mother. I never grew up with a father. I used to be on drugs. I got my ass whooped. I got divorced. I have a bad relationship with my children. I lost my job and nobody wants to work with me. You were there with me during my trying these hard times, these situations that you never want people to go through in life, and you use them against me. Not only do you use them against me, you use them against me publicly. Because yeah, when the guy punched you in your face, oh wow, I did get punched on that night, or allegedly True Life and them did walk up and I did take a L that night. That was embarrassing. I did get hurt. I did go to the doctors. You was on my side then. It's just no honor in doing it. Like I have old people that I fell out with or I no longer talk to, right? But I'm just not that type of man. Like I gotta stick to why we don't talk anymore. I gotta stick to that. Like I can't get on the like if somebody I don't talk to anymore gets on the internet and says, ARP's podcast is a piece of shit, right? It's not in my honor to come up here and be like, yeah, but you's a fucking you's an alcoholic. He was alcoholic the whole time. When you was his friend, when you were supporting him, when you was going family vacations and all that together. So to use that now, it's not supposed to sit with you because that's when people were like, yo, you felt the way back. Did you show me a false face back then or this whole time? Did you think less of me this whole time because I got punched in the face, right? So it's not, people don't just look at that what Cam said and just think about the incident at hand. It's a bigger thing about honor. All right. So it's not just, yo, you got punched in the face. So what? Everybody gets punched in the face sooner or later if you're in the street. So if you're fighting or if you're fussing or you're active, right? Everybody gets punched in the face. Who hasn't been punched in the face at least once? Everybody. Right? But it's not just that. That's too simple thinking. It's a deeper thing for Dame to come to the end about, yeah, because that dude that punched him in the face, Cam's supposed to look at him like, all right. Yeah, it's deeper than our back and forth over movies or whatever. You got it. I'm cool. So I say all that to say, remember that people, when you're going back and forth with people, look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself how you really, really feel towards the people that are around you. If you have those lingering feelings about something that happened between y'all in the past or something that happened with them in the past, stand on it. Don't use it as a weapon later on, because that's not honorable. That's not honorable at all. So, all of that said, I agree with Cam. I agree with Cam. All right. Shout I remember Too Clean Joe. He says, just like how Serious Jones feels, I guess. I don't know the whole nature of that relationship with Ice and Serious Jones. So I don't know how true this is, or it could be true, it could not be true. I don't know. I don't know. My point still stands. I see y'all in the chat bringing up examples from battle rap. I don't know. I don't know. But it's not honorable to do if you continue to stand with somebody. So I don't know. All right, let's move on. Let's go to David. Let's bring up the Long Crime. Shout out to them. Great content as always. My bad. Let me practice what I preach. Let me try to remember when I can give a like to this great content. Let's see some updates in the David investigation, or some more dots that continue to connect in front of us.
So this is what we know so far. On September 8th, the body of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas was found in the front trunk of a Tesla after the car had been towed to a tow yard in Hollywood. What we know about the condition of how her body was found is unimaginable. Her remains were wrapped in plastic, and according to NBC News, her remains were not intact. So the reason it took so long to ID her body was due to the decomposition of her body. This case has sparked so much interest, especially when it was learned that the Tesla Celeste body was found in was registered to singer David Anthony Burke, better known by his stage name David, but spelled with a 4. Now, as of this recording, David doesn't face any charges, nor has he been arrested in connection to Celeste's murder. But here's why some think he might allegedly be involved in some way. Besides the fact Celeste was found in a car registered to him, her mom told TMZ last week her daughter had been missing since April 5th of 2024 at just 13 years old. Celeste's mom told the outlet she got worried learning the news of a body being found in a Tesla because, one, the police description matched Celeste, 5'1", weighing about 70 pounds, wavy dark hair, but also a major standout, the letters SH tattooed on her finger, which just so happens to match the exact same tattoo David also has on his index finger. And if that wasn't just merely a coincidence, Celeste's mom also told TMZ her daughter had a boyfriend named David. Now, eagle-eyed fans went to David's music also hoping for some kind of clues or possible ties. In one of his leaked songs, David sings about professing his love to someone named Celeste. The verses include, "Oh Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed." The other verse includes, "Oh Celeste, afraid you'll only love me when undressed. But you look so damn gorgeous in that dress. Missing you so much makes me depressed, but I digress because." Now, the song was reportedly titled Celeste Demo Unfin. It's interesting, though, the timing. The song was leaked in December of 2023, months before Celeste was reported missing. But if the Celeste being sung about is the same Celeste who was found murdered, that means a then 18-year-old David was singing about a 13-year-old Celeste. David's creative visuals have also faced new scrutiny. According to a report by News Nation, the singer allegedly had a casket on stage while he was performing. And in the music video for his song One More Dance, it features a body being dragged and put into a trunk. And in that video, David played both the victim and the killer. But was it all for the artistry or a dark?
I say this with no jest. I'm not trying to make a joke here at all. This is not to be taken lightly. But as much as we look at these drill rappers and how they put real shit in their lyrics, think about it. Is there a worse one that we could think of right now? David would take the crown as far as talking about shooting murders allegedly, and putting it in songs and putting it in videos. He would take the crown from drill rappers. All your King Von and your Lil Durk lyrics and all that shit. He would take the crown because we're talking about alleged dismemberment, obviously, and a murder. Lyrics talking about your girlfriend, her being underage at the time, allegedly bringing caskets on stage, performing funerals, having video scenes where you're dragging a body to the trunk. He would take the crown from every drill rapper as far as putting that shit in his art that he allegedly did. How crazy is that? And don't nobody look at him and be like, "Oh, look at, there goes the demon King Von." No, they look at him as like a little soft, little emo Fortnite guy, right? boy, you just never know who you're around. Pointed out is be careful. I don't care if you're the loudest in the room or you show me your guns on camera. The Davids of the world allegedly can boy, let me not say it.
Look into his mind. It all depends on how you look at it. But the video also was released back in
Allegedly.
February, 7 months before the discovery of Celeste's body. His hit song Romantic Homicide has also faced new questions, too, for its bloody and violent visuals. But surprisingly, the song has been skyrocketing in streams in light of the investigation. Again, just a coincidence, or
It's not skyrocketing because people are enjoying the music. It's skyrocketing because everybody is on the internet. They're going and doing their homework behind this investigation. This shit is becoming damn near is it going to be like, is it national news at this point? Is every corner of the country talking about this case? I wouldn't be surprised. That's why people are playing the song.
is there more to it? The singer has been facing backlash online, not just for the alleged inappropriate relationship, but also some unusual online activity that has some scratching their heads. Some Redditors notice David's official subreddit has been locked. According to Fox 11, David is listed as the sole moderator of that account, and some users believe that he's been trying to control a narrative by deleting critical posts about him and the ongoing police investigation. This all came after someone who claimed to be a moderator on David's Discord server and Twitch channel claimed that they didn't know about Celeste, nor were they aware of her age or that she was missing. The admin reportedly thought she was 18 or 19. Then you have the photo that surfaced to TMZ of David in Lake Elsinore, where Celeste is from. Detectives seemingly took all of that information in, because soon after, LAPD officers searched a home where the Tesla was reported abandoned. According to ABC, officers spent hours at that home in the Hollywood Hills, where they ultimately seized evidence, including a computer. Now, the house where detectives searched was reportedly rented by a man named Josh Marshall, who just so happens to be David's manager. Detectives were looking for any kind of trace evidence, including blood. The home was reportedly a $20,000 a month rental. And according to new reports, David and his manager abruptly broke their lease just days after police raided the property. In light of no arrests or charges made at this time, David's career is already taking a huge hit. His music label put a halt on his upcoming album release and music promotions. He canceled his world tour and remaining leg of his U.S. tour. And brands including Hollister and Crocs dropped the singer from their marketing campaign. But we could learn more, as
Hollister
investigators
and
are likely
Crocs?
anxiously awaiting the medical examiner's findings on Celeste's autopsy, which could reveal a whole lot more and finally start to lead to answers for several unanswered questions. I'm joined now by retired homicide detective Dr. Ken Lang. Ken, thank you so much for being here today. You know, a lot of people have been following this case, but what's your reaction? You have a young teenager found dismembered in the trunk of a singer's Tesla. But I'm curious, we're weeks now into the investigation, no arrests, no charges. How do you think detectives are working the case now at this point?
So right now, detectives are working this case as a fact-finding case. If you've noticed, the medical examiner has not yet ruled on the cause or the manner of death in this case. And so in this stage of the investigation, we call this a medico-legal investigation, where investigators, the criminalist, the medical examiner are all working together. They're bringing in the facts that they're seeing, and they're trying to determine what is the cause and manner of death. And so while it's a fact-finding investigation at this point, we also see foul play. Certainly, so Celeste's body is found dismembered. From the publications I'm reading, it appears that only her torso and her head, wrapped in plastic, were found in the trunk. So then investigators should be looking for a place, a scene where that dismemberment happened, and where are the arms and legs of Celeste. And those pieces of information could become vital.
You know, this is my first time hearing that piece. What the fuck? What the fuck? Yo, you heard the last take? I'm not exaggerating. He's gonna take the top spot. This is gonna be real life alleged, like Dahmer level, just for one person though. Allegedly, hopefully. Yo, they don't have the arms and the legs? So where is that alleged crime scene? And what the fuck was he even was somebody allegedly even doing? Like I'm gonna do whatever with the arms and the legs, and the torso and the head is going in the trunk. What does somebody think doing with that? Now, if you're talking about identifying a body, what are some of the things that we see them always use? Obviously, fingerprints. Okay. I never heard of toe prints, so I'm just thinking about like the legs being gone. Teeth. see that in fires a lot, right? Teeth are used as identifiers sometimes. And then of course you have anything that can distinguish you as a person, like tattoos and whatnot. But when we see somebody getting dismembered, it's got to happen for one of two reasons, right? One, which is just that's your sick goal to what you want to do to the person. Okay. The other one would be cover up related. No, is there more than two reasons why somebody's body would be dismembered? Just the sick nature of what somebody wants to do or covering up the crime. So if you're trying to cover up the crime, but you leave the head and the torso in the trunk, and then you just abandon the car, whoever did it. This is some weird shit. It's been weird. But the more that they reveal and they figure out, this is why, once again, no rest of it, they piecing. Oh, this is crazy. What the fuck? They don't got the legs and the head, B. I never knew that. Yeah. Remember the DMs that we saw? Allegedly, if they were really his DMs, but we saw DMs that said, "Hey, imagine one day, oh, I had a dream that I ate you," some shit like that, and the person that replies is talking about haha anyway. And I was just like, "Listen, somebody text y'all out, DM y'all that, and run for the fucking hills, y'all. No second date." The fuck, yo, this shit could get super duper to that level. Like, guess what, people? We just revealed the fact that dude is a fucking cannibal. Like, Dahmer shit. Dahmer shit. Allegedly. Where the fuck are her arms and legs? This shit is bugging me out. I gotta skim these videos more before I come on live. Like, what the fuck? Caught me off guard. Rest in peace to this little girl too, man. What the fuck?
Because they may show signs or injuries or other information for the medical examiner in helping to determine a cause and manner of death.
And it's just horrible, like rethinking about those gruesome details, especially with how young Celeste was. And what do you think is going to be more important? Is it going to be the fact finding, or is it going to be the results of the autopsy report?
Well, both are interlinked together and inextricably. And so that the facts that we find and the facts that reveal themselves are going to give that information to the medical examiner to make that determinant for the cause and manner of death. And so in investigations like this, that's paramount, particularly when you're looking to see if there was any criminal activity. And if there was, what exact criminal activity had happened. Because right now, there is the possibility that she could have died of natural causes, say, for example, an overdose. And then people decided we need to remove her body or dispose of her body in a way that doesn't link her to us. Or it could be that there's a criminal intent and that the injury was inflicted upon her. And that, again, so those facts that
either one it should be life, right? Either one. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, hey, walk in the room. What song just came to the Reference King's mind? Eminem song on the Slim Shady LP. She's gonna die, dude. I know, and it's my fault because he gave a girl some shrooms and she's overdosing and shit. Let's say allegedly that was true, right? God forbid, and this would never happen with me because I've never used drugs other than poisoning myself on accident in Amsterdam. Okay, I think I told y'all a piece of that story, but I don't abuse drugs. I'm not tabs, and I never even smoked weed once in my life. Coke, crack, and all that. That's for y'all. Y'all got it. You know what I'm saying? But let's say I was into that, or if I was a dealer and I gave it to somebody and they overdosed on the shit. Well, you know what? Now as I think about this, because it's no different than some of these fake ass doctors that are doing like ass injections and then the girl dies and then the person that did the injection or the treatment or the surgery gets life in jail for murder. Now that I think about it, because I was going to say, shit, if I gave you some M&M shrooms and you overdose, I'm just going to call the cops and I'm going to take that. Like, I fucked up, man. Judge, what you got for me? It was an accident. But no, that is sometimes murder. Spike packages come out, or people, yeah, drugs is too hard, people dropping like flies. We see that in the news. Like some hard drugs come around, people just start dying and shit, and they want the person, and that person's gonna get murder charges and life behind that shit. So yeah, even that is just would unfortunately inspire somebody to say, oh shit, she overdosed, allegedly, right? Hypothetically. Dismember the body. We got to get rid of her because we're about to serve life behind this overdose. Like, now we're just speculating. I'm going on what this investigator is saying, but it don't matter whether you got into it with the person, you caused the death and then dismembered the body, or whether something unintentional happened and then you dismembered the body. Either way, you're done. Dismembering a body in this country? And who the fuck wants you? There's no justification for there's no justification for dismembering a body. Ever in the legal courts. Like, ever. It's this humane aspect, right? Like, there is no, we was beefing and he shot at me, so I caught him, I stabbed him, he died, then I dismembered the body. No. There's no justification for ever going that step of dismembering a body. Life. Get whoever did the dismembering, whoever helped with the dismembering the body, please get them off the street. Please don't have them walking around with us. Please find this person or these people, if we haven't already, allegedly. Please put them behind the bars and throw away the key. Somebody capable of dismembering. I'm not even capable of that. I'm capable of taking a life defensively. I know that for sure. The only other way I think I can take a life is if I'm in that red tunnel. It probably involves my kids. I think those are the two ways. I'm defending myself, or something happened with my kids that flipped a switch that just sends me into the red tunnel. Those are the only two ways that I could really think I would take a life. But even if I took a life while within a red tunnel, and then I wake up and it's just like, oh, that person slapped my kid, I snapped out, I didn't know. You guys are the ones that woke me up and told me, no, ARP, you punched him 452 times while he was unconscious. I didn't know. I wasn't here. My body was just going through this whole thing because my son had my body in a trance, right? Okay, murder, Raja Jackson type of shit, or attempted murder or assault. I'm going to take whatever that is, right? But even before any of that happens, when I do wake up, do I think about dismembering the body? No. No. You guys will never hear that story. ARP did all this shit, somebody, whatever. And then after it was done, he chopped the person up. What? You had some Dharma in you the whole fucking time then. No. Who thinks about that? Find them, please. No fucking arms and legs yet. I'm still tripping over that. The fucking dismembered body ain't even all together yet, because I can't even water it down. But what I'm thinking is like, if the body was dismembered in the trunk, like the whole body, that's what I thought. Then the person maybe just wanted it to fit, like I'm trying here, but the whole body isn't even together. Like, what? It's not even just you taking this person's life, which is ultimate and disgusting, but being able to be a human and dismember a body and then even separate, like, yo,
Find from all the examination of the entire body as a whole becomes paramount in making that determination.
So I feel like everything that we know right now, we still need to know so much more. But with everything we do know now, Ken, I'm curious to know your thoughts on whether or not all of this is just a really bad coincidence, or does it look like there's enough evidence kind of pointing to the singer David as having something to do with Celeste's murder?
So at this point, I don't know that there is. I don't see enough probable cause to even point to murder yet. Again, the medical examiner is going to have to rule, and without that, a prosecutor is really not going to be able to move forward. Their hands and feet are going to be bound in any criminal pursuit of charges in that way. What was the other part of your question? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no, of course. I was just going to ask, do you think that we have enough evidence kind of pointing to the singer as being responsible? Or do you think that everything just right now is just a really, really bad coincidence?
So right now, regarding the evidence, it's as you say, a bad coincidence, or it's really circumstantial, if you will. There's no direct evidence to show that David did anything to cause the death of Celeste and then to dismember and dispose of the body, other than we have.
And there you have it. There you have it. That's the separation between us looking at all these references and all these clues and all these dots connecting versus the black and white. Do we have proof or evidence that you killed this little girl and then also that you dismembered this girl? What is tying you to that? See, we are on the internet right now saying, you want to know what's tying you to that? The fact that the car is registered to you, the fact that the house is in your manager's name, the fact that you bought a coffin on stage during one of your shows, the fact that you did a video dragging a body into the trunk, the fact that there's all these streams of y'all together, the fact that she's 13, you 18, and the mother said she ran away, the fact that y'all got matching tattoos on y'all fingers, that's us on the internet. They haven't charged the man yet because, hold on, black and white. Do I have DNA linking them to each other? I mean, of course, he hasn't been brought in yet to probably do DNA, but do I have footage of him getting in or out that car days in question? Do I have any evidence that 100% says this man did this? Or am I going to end up sitting here on trial for 5 years like YMW Melly trying to prove that you actually did this shit? His bloody t-shirt merchandise is not going to get him arrested or convicted. Just makes him a primary suspect. It's a big difference.
Her body in the back of his Tesla, and it's dismembered, but we don't even have proof to say that he did that per se and not somebody else that he might be associated with.
And do you think, with kind of a lot of people having eyes on this case now, in terms of kind of the armchair detectives, or how some people would say internet sleuths or internet vultures, do you think they're helping or hindering the case in terms of maybe just over inundating detectives with information just because they want to get justice for Celeste and also possibly solve a crime? Do you think that those who are just curious about the case, who are just throwing in tips to detectives, do you think that that's helping the case at all in terms of finding new leads possibly?
Yeah.
So overall, as a detective who's worked homicide investigations, you're very aware of the court of public opinion. And the reality is these detectives are not sitting down and really watching too much of the news, the media feed, and all that information as much as they are working the case and filling it out with plugging the holes where they have the gaps of information that they need. That isn't to say that they're not that someone isn't monitoring the news to see if there is a witness or if there is somebody who is paramount to bringing more information into this investigation. So you may have a bystander, you may have a witness who's been communicating with some of these people who may have brought in a lead to them that becomes important. And so as those leads come in, detectives are going to go through those leads. They're going to look at what is the viability of this? How valid is this lead? And often the leads that become important in an investigation will have some sense or a little piece of information that's not commonly known to the public, but is known to the suspects involved and the investigators conducting the investigation.
And there's also another separation there that I'm thinking of. The difference between a detective's work versus a prosecutor's work. Okay. So as a detective, I do understand what he's saying. You got to put together the hard clues and evidence. Like they're looking for some of the top shit, like a witness, somebody that sees something, somebody that knows something. That's among the top of the tree. Okay. To now put together your arrest, and your charges. Totally different than us talking about, look, in his video, he's dragging a body to a trunk. That's like with the detective. How do you use that as a lead as a detective to make an arrest or to officially deem this person, with actual evidence is the murderer? The prosecutors could use that though, to talk to the jury and say, now that we have all this stuff from the detectives and this and fingerprints, boom, 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 let's also compound by saying, hey, remember, let's play this exhibit here of this video, or him on stage crying. This almost seems confessional. Okay, the difference between the prosecutor's job talking and convincing the jury versus the detectives putting together their evidence to deem somebody chargeable, right? So I see what he's saying there. But there's no doubt that the internet helps crimes a million times over, because if you're a detective, if you're a seasoned detective, if you're one of the best detectives in the city, right, you don't know all of these people. You like, if I was a detective, that doesn't mean that I listen to David or I know his music. It could take 5 days for the internet to show me, or his fans to show me, shit that I had no clue of. Let me show you detectives out there that are watching some of this stuff unfold. 5 years ago, they had this live together where he slipped up and said something. They canceled the live. I wouldn't know to go look at that initially as a detective. I may not even have access to it. You know, it's the internet that put that there for you. All right. So, all right, let's move on. Let's leave this alone. This David shit just got even more wicked. I didn't know some of that shit is, some of the body parts still aren't even identified. They got to find more crime scenes. They got to find more motive. They got to find, well, there's motive out there, we feel, right? But oh shit. All right, Jimmy Kimmel. Let's go over to Jimmy Kimmel. So he's back, huh? Came out, did his show, addressed it in very, very Jimmy Kimmel predictable manner in the form of sarcasm and jokes, right? All right, let's see what he says when he takes the stage.
I've been asking me if there are conditions for my return to the air, and there is one. Disney has asked me to read the following statement, and I agreed to do it. Here we go. To reactivate your Disney Plus and Hulu account, open the Disney Plus app on your smart TV or TV connected device. I've been
Good one. Good one.
to work at a company that has a lot of people have been asking. He did his best to cancel me. Instead, he forced millions of people to watch the show. That backfired bigly. He might have to release the Epstein files to distract us from this now. He did his best to cancel me. Instead, he forced millions of people to watch the show. That backfired bigly. He might have to release the Epstein files to distract us from this now. He did his best to cancel.
Oh, Trump. If y'all was on a battle rap stage, what? That would shake the room. And that's what Trump has been going for. Platforms like that talk bad about him, his administration, his policies, his ways, call him out. And Jimmy Kimmel and his show and his writers, they do it in very soft. I don't even watch Jimmy Kimmel. If I catch like one of his clips or moments come across social media, that's it. I fuck with his shit, but I'm not somebody that's like, yo, Jim, I don't know his schedule. When is he on? Let's say, for example, what was yesterday? I assume this went down last night. Yesterday was Tuesday. Let's say he comes on every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. I don't know that. I don't watch. I couldn't tell you that. But he does a great job. I like his the whole presentation. I like how he's carried himself. Y'all chat, y'all put me on that he did blackface and he had to apologize for that in the past. Okay, cool. We've had a lot of people come through the industry that had to give us apologies. Eminem was one of them. I still respect and fuck with and support Eminem. Eminem was caught on some audio that Benzino exposed. Nigga this or whatever, black girl this or whatever, right? He apologized. We gave him his pass. We said, all right, let's keep fixing this over time and we good, right? Jimmy Kimmel ain't perfect. None of us are. But this is what Trump got an issue with. Somebody that's just going to speak against you. And look at some of these comments here. I'm going to point out this one right here from this verified account. It says, this showcased the power of our pockets, loud and clear. We must continue to take collective action to protect our freedom as American citizens. No matter what anyone in this comment says, our votes hold just as much power. Please get out and vote in the upcoming midterm elections, November 4th, 2026. Take action and see how much can change. 822 likes. I don't know about how much I'm never gonna take the voting thing to 100% as far as how much I feel that holds power. I don't want to get into that debate right now. But as far as showcasing the power from your pockets, that's what we said the other day. These companies, big and small, respect money and violence. If they can do wrong, do bad, do a shitty job, steal, lie to their consumer base, whatever, and still laugh their way to the bank, I don't care how much you complain, they will not change because the truth is in the bank account. The truth is in math, black and white metrics and numbers, or even sometimes just viewership. Doesn't even have to be money. Y'all tell me I don't want to see this, but I looked at the YouTube video and it's got 1 million views. So y'all keep crying and complaining. I'm going to be over here collecting the views. Like y'all are just pissing in the wind. The money. And he took that whole sarcastic moment by, acting like you really need to read that shit. This is the way to resubscribe because we saw that Disney, and I think it said Hulu or whatever we reported the other day, it had like $3 billion lost. Everybody pays attention to that. I don't care if you're trying to smooth up to Trump allegedly or not. I don't care if you're Disney or not. And Disney is Disney. Like, how much bigger does it get than Disney as a platform or a company, right? It's Disney. Watch this. How much money is Disney worth? Anybody want to guess before I hit enter? So if they just over a couple nights or one night or whatever show the loss of like reported allegedly 3 billion from subscriptions and maybe, I don't know, market value from this Jimmy Kimmel and Trump situation and Charlie Kirk situation. If that's what they lost, over, what are they worth? UMG we saw was, what was it, 30, 40, or 50 billion or something like that? Disney. I'm going to go 300 million. I'm going to go 300 million, chat. 25. That's less than fucking UMG. Sean, wake up. Listen to what I'm telling you here. Impossible. I'll apologize to you if I'm wrong right now. Impossible. You kidding me? 25 billion is peanuts to Disney, I think. I could be wrong. We're about to hit enter. 200 billion Jay got. God, the brand got 100 billion. A Sniper got 800 billion. All right, let's see. Let's click enter on it now. Get this right for me. Not found. No, fuck that. Type again. Don't make me switch platforms. How much? Well, hold on. Let me refresh the whole fucking page first. Get this right. All right. How much is Disney worth? I'm typing slow today. What do you got for me? All right. So most of us are close. Disney, the Walt Disney Company, ticker DIS, is currently worth about 210 through 220 billion in market capital. Okay. All right. So if I'm worth the 200 billion, I pay attention to 300 billion overnight going out the door. Yeah, you wake up. Well, hey, you chairman. Speaking of chairman, hey, you board members, fix this shit. I don't care how you fix. I don't care if there's an apology. I don't know what's going to happen with Sinclair. I don't know what you're going to do with Jimmy Kimmel. Hell, I'm too big. I don't even talk to the guy. I never even met him. He works for me somewhere down there, Jimmy Kimmel, right? I heard of it. I heard his name. When I watched a couple of shows, you guys are doing great programming. Good job. But fix this shit. Really? 200 plus billion. All right. There was a reaction to this though from y'all friend, y'all guy, y'all boy, right? Where was it? I had it up here. I lost it. I'm gonna find it for you right now. there's a Trump reaction. Trump reacts to Jimmy Kimmel. I'll say returning, just returning. I think it's like a tweet or something that he put out there. It's like a tweet. What is this one on USA Today? No, I'm not subscribing to your website. Where's your tweet at? Hold on, I'm not gonna rush. I'm gonna find it. I want to read it with y'all. Trump, let me put, instead of reacts, let me put tweets. Tweets about Jimmy Kimmel returning. Where the hell is this tweet? I see this, the Hill thing right here. What is this? I don't want to see a whole article. Show me the damn tweet. Should I just go to his Twitter? Should I just go to Donald Trump's Twitter? I'll check Fox News, and after that, I'm just gonna go to his Twitter. Yeah, let's find his Twitter. Donald Trump's Twitter. Who would have thought I'd get to the day where I can just say, hey, let's go to the president's Twitter and see what. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Is this it? That doesn't look like the one I saw tweet. Where the fuck is this tweet? Where the fuck is this tweet? Now we're gonna wait. I'm gonna find this shit for y'all. I really didn't read the whole thing. Where the fuck is this tweet at? Donald Trump. Well, you know what? I could probably even find it on Instagram, even though it's a tweet. Hold on. Let's try. I'm gonna try that one. I bet you it's on like Baller Alert. Let's try Baller Alert. Baller Alert. Let's try them. I know y'all got Trump shit. Yeah, there it is. Okay, I found it. All right, let's bring this up with y'all. Sometimes we gotta be patient, man. You know what I'm saying? We live. Sometimes we gotta be patient. Just do this the right way. Okay. Donald Trump is threatening legal action against ABC after blasting the network for keeping Jimmy Kimmel on air. Trump says ABC previously told the White House that Kimmel's show was canceled and claims the decision to keep him amounts to an illegal campaign contribution to Democrats. He hinted at suing, pointing out he already won $16 million from ABC before and suggested that this new fight could be even bigger. What the fuck? So Donald Trump is threatened to now sue because he's back. I can't believe ABC fake news gave Jimmy Kimmel his job back. The White House was told by ABC that the show is canceled. Something happened between then and now because his audience is gone. He keeps saying that, like he's got bad ratings and he doesn't have a good show. He's this. Does he have bad ratings or not? Are you just saying that? Like, don't make me pull that shit up too. Then and now because his audience is gone. And they all just caused a couple $2 billion worth of subscription losses. So I don't know how that equates to his audience being gone, buddy. Just a little common sense without me even pulling up the numbers. But anyway, why would they want someone back who does so poorly? Why would you care if he has no audience? That's twice, Trump. But anyway, let's keep going. I can't get through this. Just apply a little bit of intelligence for us, man. You're our president. But anyway. Why would they want someone back who does so poorly? Just read it, ARP. Just read it. Who's not funny and who puts network in jeopardy by playing 99% positive Democrat garbage. That's your opinion. He is yet another arm of the DNC, and to the best of my knowledge, that would be a major illegal campaign contribution. I think we're going to test ABC out on this. Let's see how we do. Last time I went after them, they gave me $16 million. This one sounds even more lucrative. A true bunch of losers, yet Jimmy Kimmel rot in his bad ratings. Too bullyish for me, man. Like, how do y'all want to? I don't know. I'm still here. Jimmy, a little bullyish. You're threatening to sue because You don't like their message. The only thing in here, if I'm going to be fair and try to call it down the middle, the only thing here is where he says something about a legal campaign money, right? Or contribution. To the best of my knowledge, that would be a major legal campaign contribution. That's the only thing you should have a leg to stand on, unless we're going after freedom of speech. That's it. And I'm done there. All right, let's leave it alone. Let's go over to NBA Youngboy for a second. So we know that his show got canceled. That was supposed to be in Chicago, right? My take was it should have been. It would have been very entertaining for us all to sit from the safety of our homes and see who gets hurt there or what drama happens, right? Cool. Entertain us for all this drama. But from a business standpoint, from a liability standpoint, from an insurance standpoint, from a suability standpoint, from how about just a humane standpoint of trying to keep people safe, you have to cancel it because there was too much talk about the possibilities. If you guys just know history and say NBA Youngboy and a couple groups or gangs or people that have influence in Chicago don't get along, and yet a show pops up there and he goes, I get it, right? Think about, like, let's say Kendrick going to Toronto. I saw one person speak out that Kendrick shouldn't go to Toronto, top 5. And nobody listened to him, that goofy ass interview he does. If it comes Swiss cheese, man. Like, nobody paid attention to that stupid shit. This NBA Youngboy and Chicago thing, there's hundreds, maybe thousands of people talking about it online, about it potentially going left. Now, if I'm the promoter, if I'm the record label, if you just can't do it, there's just too much liability. People are lining up with billion-dollar lawsuits waiting for you. Like, go ahead. And we brought up the Astroworld situation with Travis Scott, and that's the aftermath. They didn't show up expecting that. This would literally be a scenario where something would happen. There could be people getting trampled, people getting hurt, stabbed, shot, whatever happens, God forbid. And then the whole internet would say, I told you so. I told you so. What idiot didn't think that NBA Youngboy coming to Chicago and bringing out Lil Tim and bringing out Wooski, all these ops of Old Block and whatnot? Who didn't think it was going to go up? It'd be, I told you so, right? So you can't do it then. You just can't.
My people just buying. We buying every seat in that bitch. Everybody, we going too. VIP. Slam season, ain't it? He tough. He tough. He got enough money for 1,000 security guards. We gonna be there too though. I just really want to see what he gonna perform for real. What you gonna perform? You in the city. What you gonna perform?
Old Block D Rose's cousin sends a message to NBA Youngboy. Now, does he have that power? I don't know this guy. Never heard of him before. Does he have the finances to purchase all those seats like he said? I would probably guess not, right? It's just still the messaging. It's still the influence. It's still the talk around it though. Okay? You just can't go forward with this shit, B. You couldn't do it. And it seems to be not NBA Youngboy's fault. He's not the one that said, I'm not going. I see all these reaction videos, little girls and little kids online crying, oh my God, fuck Lil Durk, I hope you stay in jail. Fuck you. Don't free Lil Durk and fuck King Von. I seen all of these little girls mad that their ticket got canceled. If you feel that crazy about seeing an NBA Youngboy concert, I'm not trying to count anybody's pockets, but if you're that much of a fanatic, you might just have to go to another city to catch it. I'm sorry. Like just cop the flight and the hotel and go to another city to see this shit if you're willing to slit your fucking wrist over him showing up in front of you or not. All right? That's the only advice I can give there. But it's too much of a discussion. And there's a whole reaction about this shit. Can't do it. Can't fucking do it, B. Can't do the I told you so. All right. Speaking of NBA Youngboy, though, this is what I meant when I said, this is the type of stuff that creates energy of, should you be on tour? Like, I don't jump like that, but you'd be surprised. People see videos like this and they want his whole shit canceled. NBA Youngboy concert fan beats the piss out of whatever this is, a worker on video. Now I'm going to play this. I'm going to try YouTube. The reason why I'm going to try to play this is because I don't think that it looks as brutal as like from the angle of it. I'm not saying that it's not as brutal. Nobody misconstrue my words. I just don't think that from the angle of the video, I don't think that it looks as brutal as, like, let's say the Raja Jackson video when everybody had to like say we can't play that, right? And also the second reason why I want to play this is because I want to play it with a message, a clear message that this is disgusting. And I want to deter and send a message that if anybody thinks that they can conduct themselves like this with an old man at that, boy, some of you young niggas need to learn a lesson. And don't be surprised if they try to track this little kid down the same way with Raja Jackson. Don't be surprised. Anyway, a new viral video shows teen assaulting T-Mobile Center employee at NBA Youngboy concert on Sunday. A 15 years old, attendee at NBA Youngboy's concert in Kansas City T-Mobile Center pushed and punched a guest services employee, also assaulting a security guard during ejection. All right. Old man. You know what? I decided not to play it. Now that I think about it, I think we've seen enough there. But he punches on this old man for a good, I don't know, I'm just going to guess. I've seen it once. I'll say 5 to 10 punches. Then he moves off camera. The old man is still on the ground. At one point, you see a little bit of like his bloody mouth. He's holding his face. You know, disgusting behavior. You know what they're going to say about shit like this? This is the energy that Youngboy is creating. This is the energy of these shows. This is the energy of the type of patrons that come out to this type of tour. Right? Could some of that be true? Maybe. I'm watching the footage. He's got y'all in there activating y'all last demon chord. You see, when we first looked at some of that footage last week, I said, no. You want a ticket to the NBA Youngboy concert ARP? No. Fuck no. Hell no. Even from the Chief Keef show that I went this year, I had to make sure I bought the seats that was above the crowd. Hell no. Did y'all see that shit on my gram? Did y'all see how funny? I gotta make fun of myself now. Did y'all see that shit? Son, an NBA Youngboy concert, you couldn't drag me there for free. You couldn't say, yo, I got some free front stage tickets to the NBA Youngboy concert, because it's not just about standing in front of the stage. I gotta go in that bitch. I gotta leave that bitch. I gotta be around these motherfuckers. Fuck no. I'm too old. I'm too old for that shit. I would see that shit and say, this ain't for me. I don't belong here. I'm past this type of energy and time. Y'all got it. Let me look at this Chief Keef shit. This is hilarious. You see how high above I am from the crowd? That's my favorite song to hear at a show or in a club. Finito's playing. And fuck no. Y'all got it. Suck me up in the little VIP seat above the stage and above the crowd. And Chief Keef's crowd is cool. It's not like what I see in NBA Youngboy. It's young, a very, very mixed demographic. White, black, Spanish. They do their mosh pitting. You know, I'm too old for that shit too. That NBA Youngboy shit looks dangerous, B. They're making skits about it, like security guards getting beat up and shot. Like, nah. But staying focused on this to close out. Young man, they on your ass, whether you know it or not. They on your ass. They want you. They want you charged for beating up this old white guy at the NBA Youngboy show. And if it sprawls even bigger, it's here on TMZ, right? If it sprawls even bigger, they start to now look more at NBA Youngboy and they'll say what he's cultivating, instigating. You know how it goes. Well, at least Chicago was one thing that you skipped. But anyway, all right, let's move on. I told y'all we got some Jim Jones, right? All right, let's see what he's talking about. TMZ ran up on him while he was out there doing the stream with Casanat.
What brings you out today? What are you doing out here? I see you with the truck. What's going on?
My part-time job.
This is your part-time job?
It's getting hard. Rapping ain't paying like it used to. When I was out earlier, I was actually at Pat Senna's house. He's doing the Mafia-thon out here in LA. I went up there, did some streaming, did some music up there. Now I just cruising LA, doing things I like to do, and giving out lobster. So we'll be giving out lobster to the people.
We love it. So online, it's kind of weird, but I know a lot of people are kind of talking about your style a little bit right now, which I think is pretty cool. They're calling you like a senior citizen. Like, what is up with that?
The OZYN. I don't know. I would say this, that a lot of the style and a lot of things that the kids are wearing are things that I've pretty much created. And it's been going on for so long. I think that the generation now probably don't understand where it started. And then you got some older people who like hating because they were out the loop and they got no motion. But we got heavy motion on this side. The bag is up. The business is up. New content facility, IFC space. Go to the IFC, you heard. You can check this out. I'm in the best shape of my life, actually, you heard. I'm in better shape now than I was when I was your age, you heard.
Okay. I know. So congratulations with the first episode of your new podcast. What made you want to jump into the podcasting, space?
By accident, Fabio came to visit me. Just bought a new content creation facility. And I tried it out. I told my cameraman, this is what we got it for, set it up. Ended up going pretty good. We going on the 5th show. Fat Joe will be the next show. Last show was Wallo. We also started a new podcast called Let's Rap About It. Shouts to Fab, shouts to Mano, shouts to Dave East. Where we at right now as far as entertainment is concerned, content is everything. Content is even more important than actually the music. It seems like when it comes to making money and things like that. So I'm just trying to stay with the game and also stay ahead of the game. So we're mixing the music with the content.
So could we ever see a crossover episode with Camron, maybe a reconciliation, something?
Right now, I don't see that happening right now because I'm worried about too much business that I got going on for myself. I went through that in the past. It didn't work out the way it needed to. So right now, I'm focusing on me and shit like that. Shouts to everybody doing their thing. Got no hate, word. There's a lot of money out here for everybody to make. But right now, I'm focusing on Capital. Capital got some moves in it.
The jewelry is crazy. Let me get it
heavy on the Mazda. You heard?
Man, heavy on the neck.
And the outfit looks good.
Thank you.
I mean,
Kyle gave me these, but
yeah, I saw those.
The EP definitely drops in 2 weeks. It's called Summer's Over. Get up.
Okay, I'm gonna check out the Summer's Over. All right. So only like a female. You heard the girl's voice? Like what was she like? 4'2"? So they're calling you a senior citizen. What's up with you and Cam? I feel like only a female, little whatever TMZ interviewer could get these type of responses from Jim, because let him sit down with his peers. Like let him sit down with Queen's Flip. And Queen's Flip bring up Cam or something like that, or bring up Max B. This girl could have asked him about Max B. He would have gave you a straightforward, cool, lighthearted answer. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that fucked up? How you gonna change the way you act based on who's interviewing you? Well, now the thing about me and Cam, I'm just, focused on me right now. All this being politically correct and smiling and not being mean and all that type of shit. This is how important y'all women are for being interviewers and shit. But anyway. The senior citizen thing. Jim Jones needs to just fully 100%. What am I about to say, people? I'm about to diss him. Am I about to support him? What am I about to say? You know, I'm about to say he needs to stop this shit as a fucking. What am I about to say? He needs to embrace it. He needs to embrace it 1000%. It needs to be something that people turn their eyes to him for. Embrace it. It's already there. They already called him like the oldest YN outside. The senior citizen is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Jim, I don't want him to change. I want him to be who he is. If who he is the loud dress code and the styling of his type of fashion, and even though I'm out here looking gray and shit, still talking and a whole lot of Mazda on the neck, it's him. But that he knows, he's smart enough to know content and have people talking about him. Think about when he said he's more popping than Nas. He got flamed for that, but at least he was smart enough to try to use it. He started saying in interviews like, look, man, I got him talking about me. I might have been wrong about some things. They Googled it and realized that he is more in the algorithms than me. I was wrong. I miscalculated his fan base. I didn't know I was going to get killed like this online, but I'm in the algorithm. Hey, I'm relevant. And that's the point. And I think Jim is smart enough to know that. He's done that multiple times in his career. And if we can talk about you because we want to see if the Diplomats ever come back, because you got a new EP on the way, because you got a food truck, because you just went up to Kai Cenat, because people always think about you as far as an old nigga that still acts young, talks young, moves young, dresses young, and all that type of stuff. This is going to help you stay relevant and be out there. And there's one thing about Jim that I always respected him for. He is not A+. He's not top of the food chain. He is not Mount Rushmore in anything we watched him do in his career, whether it was video directing, whether it was rapping, rap ability, whether it was dress. To me, he's done nothing, but he is such a hustler. It really is something for us to praise and something to be said for a man that who's been in the industry this long, and we're still talking about him. We met Jim Jones over 20 plus years ago. You know how many people came and went since then? Dame Dash is out here begging for conversations. Get on the phone with me. Pick up my call. Bring me to an interview. Jim Jones is still out here pulling up to the biggest streamers in the world. He's invited. You're invited. Come on up, Jim. Fine. Got a food truck. Like he said, Rap Money had to say, I got a food truck for y'all. You know, like, respect it. We joke about Jim Jones a lot, but bigger picture is how many people, it's not even just in the music industry. How many people get into a career and stay relevant and make money within that career, any type of career, for that fucking long? You know what? We met him before Certified Gangster, but let me see what year it came out. What year did that came up before or after Ballin'? We'll do both. What year did Jim Jones Certified Gangster come out? 2004. 21 years. How about let's see, Ballin'. No lie. I came out to, yeah, so Certified Gangster was first. Over 21 years ago. Yeah, some people have become doctors and lawyers. 21 years. 21 years, man. We still talking about him. He's still finding ways to pull money out of the industry. Respect, man. Respect. Did y'all think I was going in a different direction today? Respect, Jim. I have a lot of respect for it. All right. Young Thug. What's going on with him? This will be a short one. Adin Ross FaceTime Young Thug live on stream to announce upcoming stream this Sunday. Let me take the smaller screen so y'all can see this more clear. What we got going on here?
You tell the people.
I come back to Miami on Monday. I mean on Sunday. I think Sunday night or Monday morning I come back to Miami.
All right.
I gotta see my PO. So if I land back on Sunday, I'm gonna land and I'm pulling straight up to your house.
Bet, bro. All right, we locked. We locked.
We locked in. We are locked.
All right, bro. Can't wait for the album. We can't wait to listen to it.
Okay.
All right, bro.
All right.
All right, Jay. Next young.
Well, Adin Ross is a safe place, so he's not going to face any type of line of questioning like he did in his first interview. He's not going to be challenged. That's good for Young Thug right now. First of all, we can't wait for this to drop because it's just seeing Young Thug in the midst of all this shit speak out. So fuck it. But as much as I would like to be entertained and talk about, like, here he goes again, talk about Woody and Gunna and whatnot, as much as I would like to be entertained by that shit, to be real, the best approach for him going and sitting down and doing an Adin Ross stream, it should be focused on fun. That would be my advice for Thug. Don't focus on the phone calls. Don't allow him to bring up the interrogation audio. Focus on fun. Now, you guys may not be able to escape the elephant in the room, but the way it should be talked about or the way it should come up should be kind of blended into like what you got going on or what's coming up for you. Moving on, talking about how much you enjoy having your freedom back, being outside, how much you love your family. If you want to send a heartfelt letter like you did in your video to your girl, go ahead and shout out some people. Shout out Lil Baby. Continue to get your friends back or whatever. Shout out all these people. Denounce beefs. I know you're doing it on Twitter with YFN Lucci and shit, but don't get up on an Adin Rush stream that's this fun zone or whatever and talk about beef, talk about fuck this person, whatever. Stay positive, shout people out, bring some music, talk about music, maybe debut a video. This is how you continue to try to separate yourself from what they're dragging you for. You know, I just feel like Adin Ross's platform isn't a platform for much else to do that wouldn't hurt him in the midst of all this shit. But who's going to take my advice? Nobody. So we'll see. We damn sure will be here to talk about it, right? So coming soon. We'll see. Should be next week. I was going to play a video. You got Charleston White and 6ix9ine sitting down talking all types of shit about Young Thug and YSL. But we already know those two guys are on these people's heels, and this is the type of stuff Charleston White and 6ix9ine lives for. 6ix9ine lives to be able to call other people rats just like him, and Charleston White lives to be able to call out these rappers for doing gangster stupid shit and whatnot. So I'll leave it alone. But still, coming off of Young Thug, YFN Lucci did a sit down with Wallo, right? Here's a little clip from it.
What part did you come to when you sitting in there? You're going back and forth to court, and then you got to get on the phone with your kids, and they like, "Daddy,
when you coming home?
When you coming home?
Where you at?" I got to lie to them. You know,
everybody, the whole family got lied to them.
Yeah, at first, you know, we tell them I'm on vacation, I'm working. You feel me? And then, ain't gonna lie, man, my kid, we got this bond, so it's like, it got to a point me like, man, I'm not gonna keep lying to my kid because they gonna think, they gonna feel like I'm not there for them, or I don't want to be with them. Like, why he ain't came home? So I had to explain to them, and I told them the truth. Like, this is what I'm going through right now. I'm like, shit, but I'm gonna be home. You feel me? I don't know when. I can't give you a date, but I know I'm coming home. You feel me? And it made me feel a little better because at first, you know, I was sad as fuck. I was down. I was depressed. I love my kid. You feel me? It was before going to jail, waking up like, damn, I gotta be. Nah, I want never that. I've been in my kid life, so to get took away from them, you know, that shit crushed the nigga. You feel me?
I can't imagine. I can't imagine, man. And God's blessings, I never had to be in a spot like that. And God's blessings, I will never be in a spot like that. I know your parents, man, you couldn't imagine, man. You probably couldn't even fathom having that type of bond or connection with your children and being separated from them like that. But this is why we try to keep ourselves out of trouble. The worst I ever had to deal with in a situation that's not even close to that, because I never had to serve no time in prison. But I went through process and went through what I had to go through, whatever. And, you know, I was able to be out, if you understand what I'm saying. And they took my truck. They kept my truck as evidence. I had a Lexus RX 300 at the time. I think I had a different story. I talked about it before on the channel. But anyway, I had that thing tricked out. Put so much money into it. Rockford Fosgate, subwoofers, focal tweets and highs in the doors, 4 TVs, 1 in the front console that was custom installed, 2 in the headrest, and then 1 flip down in the middle for the rear. And I used to drive that shit at night with nobody in the fucking back seat and turn all that shit on. This was so long ago. It had both a DVD and a VHS player in it. I put a VHS player in it, like no bullshit. Had lights underneath. The street glow kit. If y'all know about that, some of y'all don't know what I'm talking about. The street glow kits. But yeah, a nice little tricked out Lexus RX 300 SUV. And whatever happened. They took that shit as evidence. And I was such an idiot. Could have gotten so much trouble for this. I had a spare key. I used to drive down to the precinct random at night, like let's say every other week, like every 2 weeks, because they already had it. And it was parked in front of the precinct, the 120 precinct on Richmond Terrace, Staten Island. And I would drive down to it, like, let's say midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning when I thought it'd be dark and more quiet. and I would pop that bitch. I'd get in that bitch, and it had a boot on it too. Matter of fact, I would start that bitch just so it didn't die. Because in my stupid ass mind, it's only a matter of time before I'm about to get my truck back, right? They got to give me my truck back, right? And I just didn't. It's so dumb. Like, I don't want the truck to die. So once every 2 weeks, I'm going to come down here, I'm going to get in the car, and I'm going to start it. You know how much trouble you could get into when it's already in the police's possession? I was like, as an idiot. But it's not like I had to talk to no children, thank God, like YFN Lucci. I had to explain to my aunt. Every time she would drive past my house and not see my truck there, and she was thinking, like, I'm not catching him. He's not. And then eventually, she asked me, like, yo, where's the truck? I was like, oh, I had an accident. You know what I'm saying? It's in the shop. This whole shit lasted for like 6 months or something like that. I didn't have the truck during all the process, and shit happened by maybe longer than that. I didn't have it. Matter of fact, I think I didn't have it for over a year, if I remember correctly. I think over a year I was telling this story about, no, I got it back, and then I had to fix it again, and this wasn't good, and then over a fucking year I didn't have this shit. You know what I mean? And I remember one time, not like a year later, but like a couple months in, or maybe like 2 months in or whatever, I went down to the precinct to start it again, and it wasn't there anymore. I'm like, where's my truck? They finally took it and put it in the impound, right? And so after the situation was done and you were able to get your truck back, I think they had it in Queens. I think it was Queens. So I remember going to Queens, and the shit looks like a junkyard. Damn, there's just all these possessed cars in there. And I'm walking in there, I see my baby, and this shit just like a blanket of dirt. It's just like just sitting there, just like, I'm like, damn. I hop in it, go to start it. Of course, it doesn't start. There's a tow truck that does jumps sitting right outside the compound yard, because they know people's coming in and out of there all day to pick up their cars, and they might be dead. So it's like immediate business. You know, it's like the tow truck that sits on the side of the highway all day just waiting for the call. Like, all right, there's an accident, 5 exits up. Same concept. I turn around. I'm just like, hey, man, you jumping? He's like, yeah. I was like, this one over here. And they charge you like triple on the spot. Like, what are you going to do? Like, you're fucked, you know? But that's the worst excuses I ever had to give behind some of that type of shit going on. Just like, where's your truck? The engine blew up. I'm getting a new engine, and it takes 9 months for them to do it. Oh shit. Life's experiences, man. If you could look back on certain shit and laugh, you know, thank God is giving you a blessing. All right. Drock's here. Our member became a member. I appreciate you, homie. That's my first time seeing your name. That's why I might be mispronouncing it, Drock or D-Rock. Let me know in the chat. If I come across you, I'll get familiar with your name. But welcome to the Green Team, G. It's a secret society. You became a member at 6:03 a.m. So bright and early. Don Bean, our member, is here. Says, peace, ARP and the gang. 100% G, I see you. Appreciate you as always. Charles King, our member, is here. Became a member. I'll get familiar with your name as well, homie. We all family on the Green Team. The whole chat is family, but the Green Team stands out in the chat, so I could always see them a lot, read their comments, read their supers, easy, see that, you know what I mean? Because it changes with the symbol there. It just stands out. So Charles King and D-Rock or Drock, welcome. FTH Smitty, our member, says, nah, this David weirdo gotta go, dog. It'll be interesting trial to watch, though. Unfortunately, rest in peace to baby girl. Couldn't have said it better myself. Rest in peace to Shorty. But it's gonna be something seeing this shit, man. And if he did it, get him away from all of us ASAP, because this shit is getting spookier and spookier. And Jay's here, says, whoop-de-doo at 7:23. And we just got off of the Young Thug segment too, right? They killing homie out there. Nikita, our member, says, hit that like and share the stream. Please do so. Don't forget the shares, people. I know the likes are very easy. You could like on the way in, like on the way out, like during the stream. But hit that share for your boy, man. Share to your Twitter, share to your Instagram, whatever you got going on. Can you share to Instagram? No. Share to your Twitter, share to your Facebook. I don't know how Twitch and all that stuff works. I don't have that. But Don Bean also says, these YNs need a good OG ass whooping. Yeah. 15-year-old kid like that standing over this old man and beating on him like that, they're gonna go after him. They're gonna go after him. If they probably have already. It is what it is. Jay with the cryptic 1010. 1010. What she mean, y'all? 1010. 1010. Miss Kendrick strikes again. I don't know. Thank you for the super love. But Jay with the 1010. She's dropped at a 7:32, 20 minutes ago. 1010. I don't know. I'm trying. 1010. You got it. Jay strikes again. M Wavy, our member, says has been a member for a month too. Salute to ARP and the Green Gang and the chat. Yeah, shout out to everybody, and I appreciate you, G. Month in, man. Yeah, hang in there, man. The longer you're around, the more you get accustomed to what we got going on. Remember, there's a Sorry Is True chat on Instagram. Hit up either Capo or Misha from the chat if you want to be a member or if you want to join that chat. They be in there talking. They talk, share news, share reactions. I was added to the chat. If I look at it right now, the Sorry Is True chat. What's the last thing that was in there? Oh, I ain't gonna post that. Somebody's in here talking about professional pillow fighting started. I met with somebody that was trying to bring RBE onto their platform, and that's one of the things they had upcoming was professional pillow fighting. I wonder if this is the same company. Not my cup of tea. I would never watch it, but I think what already happened out there for pillow fighting wise, I think some of those videos are viral and it has solid viewership on, shockingly. But yeah, they in the Sorry Is True chat talking. They talk. Let me jump in there real quick too. Good morning, y'all. Drop y'all a good morning in there. But yeah, if you want to be a part of the Sorry Is True chat, hit up Capo or Misha, and they'll bring you in on IG. All right. Okay, where we at? Almost 2 hours. It's almost 8 a.m. All right. Some of us got to get moving. Some of us got to get rolling. Some of us are already at work. Some of us are just waking up. Some of us are just getting home. Some of us ain't got shit to do today. And it's all good no matter what bracket you fit in. Either way, be safe and be back here tomorrow at 6 a.m. I'll see y'all in a couple. We out.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss, making decisions my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry Is True podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.